All right, we are in the post show. Um, was Mino going to try to jump in here? Uh,
I
yeah.
may have to jet out.
Yeah,
I think
feel
my
free.
wife wants
That's
to
40.
watch
fine. We really
wants to
appreciate you
watch
coming in.
Smallville.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
hey.
you. Yeah,
We've
it
never-
was great. I got to hang out with a legend tonight. I feel so
Oh no.
blessed.
I'm still just a normal dude that just really loves this game, so but I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you guys for having me. This is really,
Yes.
really fun. And I'm hopefully looking forward to more, and I love your guys' stuff, so keep it up. Like I said, this community is super strong. We all look out for each other, so yeah.
Well, you're a busy man, and you're certainly always welcome back if you want to jump on, or if there's a certain character that you're hyped for. We would love to have you back. But go enjoy your time with your family and watching Smallville, one of my favorite shows, because it could have saved itself about 10 seasons if somebody would have just talked to somebody else.
Yeah,
that was every week.
That.
Every week on Smallville was me yelling at the TV, "Just talk to somebody,"
Yeah.
communicate.
For real.
There would be no
I
issues.
know.
No, but it was a wonderful show. I enjoyed the initial run quite a bit. One of my favorite Superman entries into the Superman universe. So thank you, 40. And
Yeah, thank you
please,
guys.
please go enjoy your time with your family.
All right, take care, everybody. Much blessings to you guys.
Take care.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
You too.
Back. What did I?
What
Okay.
did I miss? What did I miss?
So, Mark, I just want to apologize ahead of time that I did talk over you near the end there, and that's my fault. I'm trying to work on that. So I apologize ahead of time.
No worries. We were somewhat distracted, of course, and that does happen. Trying to do multiple things at once. I that's how I feel every single week. So you're gonna yell at me, Mino? What are you yelling at me for?
I don't know. I forget. It's like an hour and a half. It's been a long fucking time. It's hard. It's hard hearing. I don't know. It's hard.
To be fair, I didn't have much good to say about Alize, but I don't want to say I hate a character either on the show. Maybe I need to channel my inner Mino next time I'm feeling that way a little bit more, so that you are there in spirit.
Weak performance, Aaro. I'm kidding. Don't take that to heart.
I think I did a decent job highlighting all of Alice's weaknesses. I did a decent objective analysis of her.
Right. I don't have much good to say because personally for me, as somebody with ADHD, it's just not a good character for me to play at all. But I do recognize her pros. It's just that her cons are just so glaring to me. I can't recommend her for anyone with ADHD. Like, it's just that bad.
I think one of the things I want to talk about, that was a really good host discussion that I missed about the, or what Mark was talking about, the challenge quests. And a lot of people, including Mark, they were talking about like, oh, challenge quests aren't a good return on investment because you just get a burst token and, that's not worth it. And one of the things we were fucking arguing about in Content Girls today was that end game in any game is never about return of investment. It's can you do the challenge? And the one thing I thought Mark represented my view very well of challenge quests and end game on the episode, but I think he missed an element, which is that I feel like challenge quests represent resource management, which is a skill in a gacha game, because this isn't a traditional RPG. It's a living, breathing game, right? That the meta evolves every 2 weeks. So it's about can you manage your resources and plan your pulls well enough to do all the challenge quests and still keep up with all the content. A lot of people in chat are saying, well, I'm going to save resources for Lufania or the next hump to do those end games. But the question is, can you do both? You can have it all. It is literally possible. Are you up to that challenge? And if you've ever played any like Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts or MMO endgame, there's no fucking reward for doing endgame other than bragging rights. Ultimate FF14 raids. Actually, WoW aside, because I think Mythic Plus does give better gear, right, Kriese? I haven't played in a while.
Yes, it does. WoW endgame does give better rewards. Eye level wise is basically how it works. But really, the end game for WoW is very different than it used to be years
yeah.
ago. It's
I know,
evolved
for
so much because there's Mythic Plus, there's Mythic Rating, and there's also PvP, which I don't touch with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, PvP for sure is also end game for a lot of people. WoW has that good. Okay, but before this becomes a WoW discussion, if we want to stick to like RPGs and Square Enix, it's like Kingdom Hearts. You spend an extra like 6 to 8 hours farming for Ultima Weapon, and you don't even need Ultima Weapon because at that point you've already killed everything that's big. It's just bragging rights in there. Or like FF10 killing the Dark Aeons and Penance, or even FF12, or Ozma and FF9. What's the end game in FF9? Literally skipping the disc loading so you can get Excalibur 2 by cheating the system and getting to the final dungeon in under 12 hours, etc. Stuff. Like, this is just to see if you can do it. And while I understand hardcore endgame isn't for everybody, I know that me, Black Cloud, and Jin, we are in agreement that we want to see if we can do everything and not just hoard for the inevitable future. Because there are people, Black Cloud did it in JP, he did every single challenge quest and has completed all content going forward, entering this era with less gems than any of us right now have.
Well, he's also ridiculously lucky. I mean, you can't take that out of his equation. The man pulls ridiculously lucky. Like
That's true. And he
no,
wails a lot.
it's so bad.
A month. Yeah, like he spends hundreds to thousands of dollars a month on DFFOO. You're right, Mark. That's true. Black Cloud's a cheater. Oh shit, he's in chat. Hold on.
He skipped two challenges.
I thought he would have pieced out by now, but the point.
Well, so I mean, yeah, no, I mean, I'm going to attempt as many. So, but I mean, what happens when if you don't get a challenge, you quit? I mean, what's the like what's the bar here for you? I mean, I guess that's my question. So I don't do a challenge, then what? I can't. I'm just out. I just suck from that point on. I mean,
no, not really. Like I said, this isn't like something imposed on the community. This is just our own self-imposed challenge.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. So what? Like, is it like? Are you the three of you are having like a bet? Whoever. Like, I mean, what is the bragging rights or the reward, and what happens when you don't inevitably complete a challenge quest?
There's no.
What are you? Wait, I'm sorry, I tuned out for a sec. What's going on?
Oh, Mark's saying, what happens if we can't do a challenge quest or something, if we miss that 100% completion? And it's more just to see if we can do it, right? Like, it's not like a quit the game thing. It's kind of like, if we want to take it back to MMO rating too, it's attempting every raid, not necessarily failing or seeing if you can get into that top 5% DPS parse or something. Like, practice, attempt, because that's gameplay. That is gameplay, right? Like, pushing yourself to that next level. And if you can't do it, that's fine, and you do cut it off at some line. But it's not as bad. I don't think it's as bad. Challenge quests really ease up as more LDs come out and power creep.
Oh no, right.
Yeah, like once Noctis and Arden get here, they can solo their challenge, like their 2 weeks of challenge quests, and that's not that far away. That's like a month away. It's only this first month and a half that you kind of have to go out of your way to pull. I'm a little luckier than most. I was planning on pitying Shantoto anyways, which meant getting a bunch of extra EXs on the ways for this challenge quest, etc. And then Squall LDE was a cost I was willing to spend. That's 75k. At the time I had 750k gems. I planned it out, so I'm gonna be fine. I showed you the chart in Content Girls too. I have like at least two synergy characters for every challenge quest moving forward. So this is a challenge that I decided to take. But I think the base argument we are having is, our challenge quests endgame, and we said the definition depends, but I think a few of us really think that this is a challenge we would like to go out of our way as veterans to see if we can do it before Lufania comes, because it is just a stopgap until Lufania, and it's good prep because Lufania is just as brutal. We always talk about the famous Zonde Lufania, or there's like Guy and Gao Lufanias, where it's like, hey, you need earth damage, and here are two or three characters only that are viable for this. And people do skip some Lufanias, and again, the high guard or tokens aren't super important. You know, people say like they don't need them to beat content, so it is just more bragging rights. But it's just like it's something to do, because I swear to shit, if you look around the community and you look at all these people who aren't doing challenge quests, they're complaining about dead game already.
Right.
I brought like Eldnarish, Amiditelian, and Squall BT, knocked it out of the park in one go, waiting for 5 days for the next event. You know,
So,
it's really
I want to say something here, because I think if you have the pieces to do the challenge quest, I think trying things in this game, even if you don't succeed, still makes you a better player. I used to fail quite often in the 50s era on stuff, or barely complete it.
remember that.
Right. And like, this was until, close to chapter 11 that I struggled a lot, because I was trying to teach myself things. I didn't just pull the best units all the time, but that wound up starting to pay off in spades when C60 hit. So I think if you have the pieces and you see other teams similar to yours in the challenge quest, call to arms, for example, I really think you should try to do them, even if you don't succeed. Give it a couple of tries just so you can learn something maybe about these characters, some nuances about the game, et cetera, et cetera. And that will build your skill as a player over time.
I'm catching up on chat with Macnol. I can't follow the whole conversation because there's been a lot of chatter while we're talking. But I'm saying we also said in our private chat earlier today, like, there is a difference between RPG gameplay skill, which what you're talking about, and how that is not all a gacha game is. And gacha game is also resource management. If I just wanted to talk about RPG skill, there's a lot of really hardcore RPGs out there, way more hardcore than DFFOO if you want to test your skill, like Divinity 2 or fucking Gloomhaven, or, like really, really, really fucking hardcore RPG games. But DFFOO and gachas in general are built towards, can I manage my resources well enough to keep up? And it's resource allocation and deciding between pulls, deciding between ingots, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm saying I feel like that factors in with part of DFFOO skill. If you can save and pull the necessities and get through it with those minimum pulls, etc. If you just want to talk about RPG skill, there's a lot of other RPGs out there that are more difficult than DFFOO and don't lean on the synergy model and the power creep.
No, I wasn't saying ever that I wouldn't do it. Yoshi Pasta saying, well, you can still do the burst quest. You just don't get the BT tokens if you don't bring synergy. There's nothing. I'm going to attempt every burst or every challenge quest. I'm going to clear every challenge quest. That's not the issue. For me, the issue is the burst token. That's the marker. Like, that's the plate. If to complete the challenge quest, you got to get the burst token in my mind, right? So is it going to be the end of the world if I miss one of those? I mean, again, this. Looking ahead at all the challenge quests into Lufania, which I have done, I mean, this is the big mess for me. The one fight where I only had one of the 6 characters EX already, spent tickets to try to maybe fill in the other blanks, and I'm going to spend tickets on probably in the next 2 banners and see what comes. I'm going to be able to do the next 2 without much of an issue, but this one was going to be tough, especially without Ico or Porum. But again, is it worth going in gems? Maybe. If I luck sack into Toto's burst, sure, I'll go back and pull on that. And like you said, I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea to. Hey, Chris, Chris5258 on Twitch and Discord was celebrating a 2nd anniversary of him playing, so I think that's how that works. So I hope you had a great stream, Chris, and hope you're doing well. Go check out Chris and sub to his and like his and follow him, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, and Black Cloud's asking, what are you saving for?
I'm gonna address Black Cloud. I'm sure Black Cloud's gonna have his own fucking rant video for this shit, because I know we're super in agreement. But to respond to this and to all the Alice talk earlier, It's like, it is personal preference. Again, this isn't stuff that we're imposing on others. It's like the TCC challenges, right? Like, the worst people are the ones who said, well, you don't do the TCC challenge, so you're not a real skilled player, which is bullshit, because it's supposed to be personal challenges. Like, do you want to do this? Is this fun for you? Take your gaming to the next level. It's not used for shaming people. So I don't think challenge quests should be used for shaming people. But I think that not taking, you guys in mind, but there are people out there. I can think of a bunch of examples on our server alone who dismiss challenge quests because they don't want to attempt it, or they say like dead game because they're selecting to opt out of content, or people are just, and there's people in this chat right now who are saying, oh well, challenge quests are bullshit because they make you use shitty characters. Well, I think that's the point of challenge quests, right? To use non-meta characters for fights adapted to it, to learn some mechanics. There are some people who look on the bright side of this and saying, challenge quests are making me appreciate characters I never would have fucking pulled for before. Or challenge quests are really making me appreciate some boss mechanics because I've been running RNA for 7 months and I've never seen the boss do an attack. Right? Like, there are people who are like,
oh yeah, right,
this current challenge quest is harder than DE14 because in DE14 my CPU never got a turn. Like, like, there are people saying that. Like, people are just so used to shutting out the mechanics. And as I was telling Macnell, and I know he disagreed, that challenge quests were a necessity stopgap before Lufania, because the devs, everyone in the 130 character roster we have now almost have EX pluses, and they're getting character boards soon. You can't really balance fights around that, so they're like, okay, look, we're going to make challenge quests until Lufania comes, and what these challenge quests are going to do, they're going to be balanced around 4 to 6 characters. And then if you use those 4 to 6 characters, this is a tightly tuned fight. But if you want to, use all the meta characters that ignore mechanics, you can, and get the necessary rewards. But this is like, can you do it without shitting on the game like you have been? And then Lufania is the middle ground in between that we all talk about. People still don't understand, and they're still surprised to hear Lufania revolves around Lufania orbs, where if you don't do the intended mechanic, it will wipe your party. Period. That is it. The game is finally like, no more fucking cheesing this shit. You're punished for free turns. You're punished for denial. You need to bring certain characters to build around this fight. And I don't think people are preparing for that if they've been running RNA and Eldnars for months and they are skipping out on challenge quests.
So I don't know where this whole idea that this is like a garbage time period comes from. I mean, if you're actually not running a lot of these cheese characters and you are actually fighting the mechanics as intended, the fights are very interesting mechanically speaking. We're seeing things we haven't seen either in a long time or brand new things that are very interesting and different. Like with Ami's Chaos, for example, the whole delay mechanic, how you can play around that was very interesting to me. I felt like with this Heretics, bringing back showcasing the power of elemental attackers was very nice. I enjoyed this period because I feel like it's a good lead up into what is coming with Lufania, because when we get there, you can't, like you said, you can't always turn denial. You have to sometimes give bosses turns. Otherwise the orb will keep counting down. I believe there was a couple like that, if I remember correctly, where you had to let them get turns or the orb will keep going down. I don't remember it for sure. But the idea that you have to do that is interesting to me. And like there's other boss battles that have done more to even deny you the chance to remove turns, like those Medusa heads that later lock their turn in place or whatever. I like mechanics like that. I like that they're trying to find ways for players to actually have to play against the bosses and let the bosses get turns.
Sorry, I'm trying to troll Macnell.
Yeah, well, and one of Magnol's points is right. The challenge quest isn't really challenging. It's just bring these characters and win. 5D was saying, well, if you're trying to, go through with just a hard carry, one LDBT character and 235s, or if you're trying to do like Jin did, just use EX only, characters, yeah, it can be a lot more challenging. But right at the end of the day, it's designed to tempt you into banners, and that's why I mean my perspective was, it is kind of a reward. The burst token is a reward for pulling on that banner for having those characters. I mean that's I'm not saying that is how it is. I'm saying that's my take on it. That's my opinion. Again, I'm planning to do all of them. I'm planning to challenge all of them. I'm not going to lose any sleep if I don't. For me, in the back of my head, the thing that you get, the thing that tells other people how good you are is Dimension's End, right? So and then it will be Transcendence after that, whatever the next one is, right? So at the end of the day, for me, that's the most important content. But yeah, I'm also not saying dead game, right? I mean, I've never said that. There's all kinds of things, and we make up crap. I mean, that's what the TCC challenge is, That's Macnol's saying that's what BT stands for, bonus token. No, but
at the very least, we've sparked a lot of discussion in chat.
I think it's a good discussion.
Like, people are talking about it a lot, and again, just like Alize, this all comes down to personal preference. I'm just arguing against people who are complaining dead game and opting out of challenge quest, and it's a moving goalpost is what I fucking called it earlier in chat. It's like there are people who have 100% completion, then challenge quests come, and they're like, I don't want to fucking pull a garbage character like Gilgamesh or Steiner to do this. Like this is fake. I'm still going to say I have 100% completion rate and ignore all challenge quests because I only want to pull for meta characters that last for 3+ months. I'm not pulling for old characters, blah, 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 and it's just like, what a shit mentality. I don't know.
Well, and I'm not, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that. I am keeping track. It's on my spreadsheet, which challenge quests I do and which ones I don't. So I'm not going to go around saying I have 100% completion if I don't have 100%, because I mean, it is part of the game. Like, you can ignore it. You can ignore Chaos. Yeah. You can ignore Lufania. Like, you can ignore Dimensions. I mean, there's plenty of people, like, you can play the game however you want, right? Like, however you want it. If you just want to collect characters and use them however you want, then fine, play that way. Whatever is fun to you, that's how you should play the game. And that's the best way to play the game, period. I mean, I think that's definitively the best way to play the game for you is the way that keeps you engaged the best. So if that is trying the challenge quest, having that goal for you, that's a goal. And so that's going to make the game fun for you, having a goal, trying to complete that goal. Some people won't be able to do that. And we're seeing that like on social media right now. And people are hitting their heads. People have no resources. Even 40 tonight. I mean, I watched his pull video. He's probably got 10,000 gems and tickets, and he'll go in and I know it probably spends a little bit on the game too. But he'll pull constantly, and he's got pretty good luck too. But so there will be things he gets and things he doesn't get, right? And a lot of people are finding themselves without any resources. Now, you and I mean, everybody here, Kriese, Aaro, myself, you, Mino, we all have a healthy amount of resources. We have friends who have twice. I mean, I have about 750,000 or 725,000 right now. We got people with twice that, right? I know 5D is one person who had tons, and his plan is to pity every burst weapon. So, I mean, if that's how you want to play the game, that's how you play the game, right? And you're going to enjoy it because, hey, who wouldn't want every burst weapon? That's a fun thing to have. But right, if you're like, oh, the game is dead and the game's not fun, and you're sitting on 2 million gems, and then why, right? I mean, then find a different way to play the game that's more fun for you, I guess.
I also play another gacha game pretty regularly, in Landgress or mobile. I don't do all the content in that game. Some of the challenges are absolutely bonkers, and you require kind of specific strategies that I might not have characters built for, and it's very expensive to build characters in that game. So you can't just make one like in DFFOO out of your butt in 10 minutes. It just doesn't work that way. And I still play the game without even completing everything. I'm sure there's plenty of people in this game who are very similar. I'm still having fun. I do about 75-80% of the content in Landgrisser Mobile, which I feel is enough to keep playing because I'm still getting enough rewards to make it worth it for me. But I know plenty of people in that game that literally use it as a waifu collector. So, I mean, there's other people like that. So it just depends, like, what kind of player are you? And you need to assess that. And if you need to change your game plan with how you interact with the game, go ahead and do that. Honestly, there's that Hell Lufania month coming eventually in DFFOO. I don't know if I'm gonna even bother with some of that stuff that month because I just realized it doesn't matter to as much to be completing Lufania as it is to complete like Chaos. Like the high armor tokens are nice, but by no means I am not going to stress myself out and want to pull my hair out and want to quit the game over one fight. I just don't understand that. If I'm overall having a great time with the game still at that point, I'll keep playing even if I can't complete certain content. That's just how I feel about these games. Maybe I'm just a little more relaxed about it, so I don't worry as much.
Okay, two things I need to address chat. For which one first? First, the Black Cloud one. That takes less time. Black Cloud says, correct the record on the stuff that I was saying about him before I realized he was in chat. All right, guys, Black Cloud doesn't really spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to all content, but what he does is he plays JP version, takes that knowledge, time travels back to the GL version to get his 100% complete. He said that he did skip a few challenge quests in JP, but he is shooting for the 100% in GL with that future cheater knowledge. He said this time in GL, he 3-3'd Lena to prepare for the Von Gabranth challenge quest and others that he failed, but he is ready to tackle on this time in Global. So that's the record set straight. The second thing is the Pawns was talking about something I wanted to bring up as soon as Mark was done talking, is that there was a Reddit post, and that Reddit post was not the only one. There were a couple of Facebook posts that I saw that are literally the same thing, where they're like, what the fuck are these challenge quests? They're trying to make me pull for things that I don't want. Also, Moogle Pass is now pay to win. It's like, I have 750k gems, but I am not pulling on a banner to complete this content. I'm quitting the game. And there were a lot of people who like that, who were like, I have 1,000,000 gems. How dare the game try to get me to spend more gems? You know, I'm quitting the game. The audacity. Like, this game let me skip so many banners and save so much because it was so generous and free to play, and meta characters carried me for so long. Now that I know going into Lufania, I can't pull a GL first and not pull for 6 months. Telute was saying when he joined the game on the first GL first with Beatrix, he did not pull until Quistis. That's a 5+ month difference. He was like, I rode one character for like 5+ months, and a lot of people were like, tell me the one character I can ride for the majority of the year so I can save my gems. And it's like, at some point they just value saving gems more than they do playing the game. Hoarding is a disease, if Magnol's still in the channel. You know, why play the game if you would rather save resources than literally play the game? At what point? At one point, is this too much? You know, it's ridiculous.
Again, it's. I mean, you take someone like Hiromura Cat, who has a lot of resources, and he just wants the characters he wants, and he's going to play it how he wants to play it, and you know, he spends his time grinding perfect arts for every character's 3 different accounts. So I mean, he's found a way to invest in the game, you know, in time that he wants to spend, and doesn't need to spend the resources because he continues to get everybody he wants. So yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But right, I mean, it's the complaining. You know, if you do have a lot of resources, and you're like, well, you know, the game's forcing me to spend the resources. Well, yeah, that's the game's designed to do that. That's how the game works.
Yeah. And Iros is saying in chat, year 3 is development course correcting. We have to remember, guys, there were Reddit posts, the community was scared. They're like, why is DFFOO making less money than every other gacha? Why is Brave Exvius, War of the Visions, Record Keeper, And well, no, Mobius sucks now. But like, why are these games blowing DFFOO out of the water? They're all in the top 50 on the App Store, but DFFOO isn't even in the top 100. A lot of people were scared. They're like, is this game going to get canceled? Because next to Mobius, this was the least earning FF Gotcha game. And all of a sudden, hey guys, please spend your resources that you've been hoarding for a year. I know a lot of you guys, what did we say the average was? 1.5 million gems. Spend some of that, please. Start buying. Here's some weapon skins. It's not even pay to win. Here, buy some weapon and character skins. Help support the game. And people were like, how fucking dare you provide me entertainment for free for 3 years? And now you want me to spend these free resources I got? Fuck you, DFFOO. I'm quitting now. I don't understand this new age of gamers. It's ridiculous.
And the Mog Pass is like what? The cost of a cheap fast food combo or a Starbucks coffee?
In the US, it might be different in other countries.
Right, but yeah, that's true.
Check
but like
your
USA,
privilege, Aaro. Check your privilege.
It's just
Check your privilege.
I just wanted to stipulate that because I don't
True. No,
I don't
true.
know exactly what it is in other countries. I just want to say that.
It's true. No, again, I mean, I know Mino's giving Macno a hard time, but
I didn't mean to cut you off, Aaro. Sorry.
But yeah, you play how you play.
But what I was going to say is like these subscription things in games, I personally like them when they're reasonably priced because it makes they give you enough benefits for usually the cost to make it worth paying for. It's not just a convenience factor all the time. It is, but I mean, like it's if you play this game that much, if you're playing it daily for 30 minutes, even a day, that's still pretty good. I would pay $5 subscription to the game, especially if it keeps out other more predatory gotcha things from the game. So I find that to be a fair trade-off because MMO is what they charge you for a subscription, any of the really good ones, and so this game's just charging you for a small subscription fee. I don't see the problem if I'm playing it at least 30 minutes every day to do that.
As Black Cloud was saying, what are you people hoarding for? I'm not going to take that extremist stance, but I did have a talk with Black Cloud and agree. Like some people, so this is a crossover game with 130 plus FF characters. And there are a lot of people out there who are saying, I only want to play FF6 characters, pink, or I only want to play FF10 characters, etc. And they're like, I'm only spending gems and pulling for these characters. I don't want to try any of these characters from the other 30 fucking Final Fantasy games. Fuck 90% of the cast. I'm here to relive FF10. And it's like, at that point, why not just play FF10 again? I don't like crossover games. You're supposed to try everyone. In Smash, you try everybody. In Marvel vs. Capcom, you try the whole point of crossover games is to get you to try different fucking things that are related. It feels weird to me to pick up an FF game with huge ass cast and say, I only want to use 5% of the cast. Fuck everybody else.
I feel like it helps you find a newfound appreciation for some of these characters you never even knew anything about. And it's kind of like a fandom thing. You're supposed to find new things to like. I think the Marvel vs. Capcom games helped me find out about certain characters like Taskmaster, who I think is absolutely amazing when I read up his backstory. So have they put him in one of the movies yet? Just
he's going to be in the Black Widow
He's
movie.
in the Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
Oh man, I might have to rent that sometime.
He's also the main villain in that upcoming stupid ass Avengers game you guys are talking about in the pre-show.
Yeah, Taskmaster.
Oh man, I'm so hyped then. He's like my favorite villain from the Avengers now that I've learned about him.
Great. Yeah, he's a great villain.
You know that Fire Emblem wasn't even going to be a thing until Smash Brothers came and they put him in the game. Originally, they were going to remove him. He's going to be Marth in Super Smash Brothers was going to be JP exclusive because the developers are like, Fire Emblem has only released in Japan. Nobody in the foreign audience is going to like him. And then they're like, it's too much fucking effort to remove him, so let's leave him in. And then people played Smash Brothers. They liked Marth. They demanded Fire Emblem be brought stateside, and now it's a big franchise. Look at that. There's crossovers for you. And what I'm trying to say is that DFFOO will lead to Type 02 and 3.
There you go.
The whole trilogy is coming.
Crystal Bears too.
What is it? Hasn't had when they had that Type 0 chapter here in DFFOO, didn't that like sell copies of the game? Like people actually went out of the way and bought the game.
We know people who did, right? yeah.
Right, so like, please, guys, please, like, enjoy the crossover appeal, like, at least on some level. I mean, it's cool to do theme runs in this game. I absolutely think that's fun. I've done them myself, and but let yourself enjoy other things too. Like maybe discover a new character who will become a new favorite for you. Even like because that's what this game is about. It's not a celebration of just one Final Fantasy. It's a celebration of many of them, if not almost all of them at this point. We're only missing a few characters from a few random titles here.
Kriese, did you have something to say? I noticed the while I was talking.
No, I'm just getting tired.
Oh, okay. Do you want to peace out? You don't have to stay. We can call
I'll
it
stick
soon.
around a little longer.
Yeah, Type 0 Remake Part 1 coming after the FF7 remake. I wouldn't blame it. I'm pretty sure that was like Nomura's baby. Type 0.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about hoarding ingots and books like all you people do? Because apparently I have like 10 or 15 more purple characters than everybody else in our circle. So for all the
I've
crap
been
you give me,
getting a lot of characters this month.
good.
Are we repeating the ingot rant too?
No.
I'm pretty sure we talked about this a lot in our Discord, but blah 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 TLDR, you're getting more ingots than new EX pluses at this point.
Yeah.
Eventually, if you've done all content up to now, you should have over 50 of the characters purpled, or enough ingots to purple.
Well, let's put it this way. I've only purpled one new character this month. The
Exactly.
characters I'm purpling are old characters.
Yeah.
It's Squall, Sephiroth, Warrior of Light, Shantoto, and Alice I've purpled this month.
Yeah.
Myself, I actually had the purple Squall and I purpled Lael, but that purple Lael helped me free somebody. So hey, don't be against that, because some of these characters getting LDs, and you're gonna have to free them if you already used them. So some of these old characters could help you out with that if you've got the stash for it. You're an older vet. You've been playing since the start of Chaos practically. You probably got some room. Please don't hoard too hard. Have some room if you have, if you need it, but don't sit there with, what is it, like 30 plus ingots and wonder what to do with them.
The book, do I buy packages? I bought both the book packages and maybe 4 ingots over the course of how many ever months those have been out. So yes, I've bought that's kind of what. Yeah, so I have more books and ingots than people do.
It's a good amount, but it's you can catch up on that. I mean, people chat like Night is Dark and Full of Terrors is, it's a good point. Like, this is veteran talk. He's saying like newer players who are catching up their collection. Of course, they're still gonna have to watch. Yeah.
No
But
doubt.
I'm saying, like, as if you've been playing since the beginning of EX Plus era, and first of all, you're probably more conscious of the meta, and second of all, so there are how many more EX Plus characters left in the backlog? 4, 6?
Yeah.
And I know you guys aren't. I know you guys aren't purpling all of them. I know very few of you are gonna purple Vivi. You fucking meta sheep! Don't lie to me.
I'm skipping Vivi.
No one's gonna purple Vivi. No one's gonna purple Laguna.
I'm purpling Leon.
Yeah, Leon, I'll purple. I'll purple
Thancred. Yeah. I will purple Thancred.
Okay, but yeah,
I will purple Thancred.
Yeah, but like, you fucking Thancred, very few people are gonna fucking purple. Don't lie to me. That's a month and a half into Lufania. You guys aren't purpling Thancred to fucking bench him immediately. Kriese.
I will purple Thancred.
Yeah, for sure. But you guys are fans. But I'm saying the average player who hasn't played these fucking games because they're only here to play FF10 characters. You guys aren't purpling Thancred or Laguna or Vivi. Don't lie to me. You're not purpling every character. JP is slowing down to less than 1.5 characters, new characters a month. JP is 8 months ahead and 12 characters ahead. I counted 12 characters ahead in 8 months. Do the average on that. Realize that before, when Chaos started, we got 8 ingots a month on average. Now we get more because of the monthly rewards and seasonals, more events, like stream giveaways, etc. Abyss, we're gonna have more entropy rewards. The entropy rewards are gonna repeat. We're going to have more Abyss rewards and more seasonal shit like that. Like we're looking at 9 to 10 minimum ingots a month. That's enough for 3+ characters. You're not purpling 3 new characters a month. Don't fucking lie to yourself. If you're a veteran, you are working on your backlog. That's why I don't think purpling for challenge quests is really so bad, especially since a lot of these people are going to get LDs eventually anyway. Like Warrior of Light was a topic of discussion for Garland.
Yeah.
If you plan on Warrior of Light's getting a rework, if you plan on using him his LD or getting his BT, and he's going to be useful for that period, you're going to purple him anyways. Why not spend the ingots, right? Like, you're working on your backlog. All of these characters are getting LDs eventually. That's a fact. You never know if they're going to be good. Don't fucking tell me that there are forever memes like Yuffie out there. We've seen people turn around. Cryo was the latest one in JP. She became big meta after being shitty for so long. Don't tell me you can predict who's going to be good in the future. Why not purple? We mathed it out on the server. If you've collected all resources up till now free to play, in about a year, you will be able to purple the entire cast. So don't fucking lie to me and tell me you have to save ingots for some shit. Don't stop saving character boards. There are people who's like, I can't do this recent chaos, but I refuse to spend my 70k character points saved up. Hoarding is a disease. Macnol is my super villain, or vice versa. I don't know. Either way,
You're probably Macnol supervillain.
Probably.
I don't understand why people don't want to purple some of these old units. I still can't get over that. Like, some of these guys come back several times for challenge quests. Like you mentioned, Warrior of Light, Gilgamesh, Kryl, and Porum all come back several times in several challenge quests. And some of them still don't have level 80. So that means they're coming back again. They'll probably come back again if they didn't get their LD with level 80. So it's just like, some of these characters, you have foresight. Please pick some of them if you want to do some of these challenge quests that you know you are going to be able to potentially do, and use your foresight knowledge to help you. Some of this is just, I feel like it's way too overthought. Like, I have to hoard forever, and it's like Black Cloud says, or Mino says, what for? It's just like, I get it if you're saving for a character you know is coming soon. Like, don't waste your ingots. If you only have enough to get that one character you know you want, don't spend, obviously. But if you're over hoarding, I just don't understand. I like playing with so many characters in this game. So for me, maybe it's just a little different. I like collecting. I like playing most of the cast. I just don't understand some of this. And in this period, I feel like is a great, it's like a great teacher for playing the game, because I don't know what people are going to do when Lufania drops. I'm a little worried that there is going to be a lot more people who quit.
Shout out to Rusfoina, one of our friends and fellow streamers, YouTube creators. Off of her fourth battle with Jin Lee. Never again. Hashtag never again.
How do you lose 100%? I'm sorry, Rez. That's
not okay.
Brutal. It's brutal.
Not okay.
And that one,
he's dead to me.
Sparked a whole nother conversation about how people are falling for the bait this era, but that's a discussion for another time. Challenge quests are killing people. Square is very smart. I'm seeing tons of people do 3-3, a full team of purples to do it. It does not require that much, I think. But but the bait I was talking about Rez with is like a bunch of people will pull the BT and then go back and pity the LD, and they said they never wanted Squall in the first place.
No, I mean, we talked about that earlier. I mean, that's the reality. Yeah. I mean, again, if I'm pulling tickets here on the next couple banners and I get Fontoto. Wow. Shantoto. Fontoto. We watch movies on Fontoto.
Hey, I wasn't listening closely. Did you guys pronounce Enchanted Redoublement correctly?
I was gonna say Redoublement. I had heard that's so funny.
White Arrow. Holy shit.
That's so funny. That's so funny you said that, because I was watching a couple people talking about Alice's kit, and I was like, if you're gonna go Enchanted Redoublement, you gotta go heavy French, right? You don't go. I mean, either it's Enchanted Redoublement or it's Enchanted Redoublement. I mean, you gotta like really own into the French, right? I mean, you gotta go all or nothing. Like
Nope.
either just English or just full on.
Nope.
Where's Rez? She speaks a little French, right? She
Yeah,
should
I
be able
guess
to
so.
nail this.
I cannot roll my R's, Rez. That's always been a problem.
Redoublement. There we go.
Yes. So next week.
So did I miss it? Did you guys say it?
Rez going to come on the show next week and help us pronounce that. Redoublement. Yeah. That's terrible. I don't. No, I think Kriese tried to talk as little about Alice's kid as possible.
I said enchanted redoublement.
Yeah,
I think
that's what you should say. Unless, like, again, if you're gonna, you don't go half. There's no halfway. It's either all or nothing.
I'm sorry, Kriese. Aren't you in Louisiana? Shouldn't you know?
What would be the Creole? Let's get real offensive. I'm not gonna do the
Look,
Creole accent.
I did not get the French immersive experience growing up.
Okay, fair.
There are schools where you get the French immersion. I did not get that.
Now I got Princess and the Frog dialect stuck in my head. So,
And as you can tell by my accent, I don't have any Cajun or Creole accent.
Kriese is not heavy, heavy Southern drawl, not heavy Creole drawl, not even New Orleans.
Oh,
yeah.
Just so you guys know, while I was born in the New Orleans area, I don't have any accent because I was mostly raised in the Northeast.
Interesting.
I would have never known you were from Louisiana if you had
Yeah,
that.
same,
I've known quite a few people from that.
I was
area.
mostly raised in the tri-state area.
And leave it to Alize to have complicated pronunciation on top of everything else, right? Everything's just convoluted about her. Fucking stuck up prick. I hate her so much, guys. I hate her so much.
She's so cute, yet underneath the cuteness is the most micromanaged. Like the character.
It's not that complicated. Jeez.
I
63 out now.
don't know how to feel about this guy. So I'm feeling conflicted. She's so cute, but at least her brother doesn't feel so complicated to play. And that guy and his character lines never shuts up. So
Brother's supposed to be the smart one, so it makes sense.
okay.
She's dumb, so she has to have a flowchart in front of her while she does shit.
Which is funny because you think it'd almost be flipped the other way around. She'd be the simple one, and he'd be the one who keeps going and going and going.
He has a book in front of him, so you'd be like, he's the one that has notes, right? Like, what do I do now? Where's this? Like, she's just got, it's like written on her hand. Like, it's like on the hilt of her sword. It's like a magic sword that's inlaid with like gold and silver. So what Vera Holy, Vera Fire, what do I hit now? Enchanted Redoublement.
Maybe the crystal it telepathically tells her what steps she needs to be on in her little MMO rotation.
I've seen some nightmare scenarios of actually gameplay from the Final Fantasy 14. So I've never been one for MMOs, so that it's more than I want to think about.
It's a lot easier in the MMO, so that's no problem. It's actually one of the easier classes in FF14. But like I said in the chat, you're only focusing on one character. The rotation is literally 90% of the gameplay in an MMO. And in the MMO, it's RNG-based procs. So, like for example, in here, Aaro always leads the Verholy or whatever, right? Like 100%. In the MMO, you like spam Aaro until the button lights up for Verholy, and then you're like, oh, time to press Verholy.
Not quite. It's always Aaro leads to Verstone.
Whatever. You know what I mean. Fuck Redmi. No, but I mean, you know what I mean. It's proc-based, and they light up, and it's like playing whack-a-mole rather than remembering it.
You guys talking about this reminds me why I don't play MMOs anymore. It's not just that. I get addicted easily, so I banned myself from MMO playing. Even though if FF14 did get that really cool free play up to like Heaven's Sword now or whatever.
Up through Heaven's Sword content.
That's a lot of content. Isn't that like 2 expansions of the game or something?
Yep.
Wait, I thought it was 1, right? 1? Heavensward?
I thought it was, unless it was
AR.
unclear, I thought it was base game and Heavensward. Am I mistaken?
Yeah, so 1 expansion, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's like
Base game
2
and
full
Heavensward.
games. Jeez, that's a lot of content for free. They must really be hurting for subscriptions.
I wonder. Because I know COVID has really delayed MMO updates all across the
Hmm.
board. So people are crying dead game more than ever.
WoW was delayed a little bit for its new expansion, but not substantially, from what I've heard. It's still coming out by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Well, I got to stop playing mobile gotchas because then you start a podcast and then you open a Discord and then you're, doing an hour-long post show. Yeah, I
right?
mean, it's just a
I'm
spiral.
relegated to pre-show, post-show only now, guys.
I don't believe him. He will be back eventually.
We got like one of those home alert systems on Mino. He can't come in during the normal podcast. Or,
one
or the
limit
feds
on
come
the
in.
podcast. I had to wait for Broadway to get off before I could come on.
Well, I said before the show we when we have the celebs on, when we have the celebs, oh yeah.
Have we ever had more than one, Mark? Seriously, think back.
Pierre was from Canada. That's like a minority, right? No. I don't know. Has it ever been just you and Black? Well, you mean you and Black Cloud, obviously. But yeah, I mean, Aaro's not male, so that's something.
We're diversifying.
It's better than just 2 white guys, right? That's how it started.
I'm so tired. How long is this post show gonna go on for? Can we call it?
It probably needs to end.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have much more we can talk about right now, it seems.
Well, this is the second podcast.
Mark, before you end it, I was so disappointed you didn't put that the cargo pants condom post show on YouTube. You only put it on the website. People kept asking. I checked the YouTube comments. They're saying, why wasn't the post show put on YouTube?
Why did I not put that post show on YouTube? Probably, I don't know. It's on the podcast, on the website. Yeah.
Just put it on YouTube too. It'll probably reach a broader audience. People want to. People want to know.
Maybe.
Macnell's pointing out that I hit peak diversity on the week that I ran the podcast.
Oh yeah,
Kriese also specifically went out of his way to say unofficial episode. If Kriese just owned it, if Kriese just owned it and said this is episode whatever, then I would have given you points. But you played it safe.
I did record the podcast and it did go live as an episode, though.
Oh, so Rusfoyne is saying she's triracial, so that helps a lot, and a woman. So that's like 4 right there.
Let's not try to score bonus points. You're one person, Rez, so you count as one minority. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. You can't.
No, I don't think that's. I think that's fair because we're talking about the vice president nomination as multiracial, right? So that counts as more than one.
Yes, I don't want to get into. Oh boy. Right now. I'm gonna avoid that even for the post show. So
yeah, same.
The discussion in the channel.
But guys, I just want to say thank you so much for letting me come on for a second week. I wasn't even expecting it at first.
Next week you said you would fill in for my semi-permanent.
Yes, that's true. But I knew you guys were having 40 on, so I wasn't expecting an invite. But I did want to say thank you. I did really want to talk about Toto because I think she's really unique right now. And the LD has just been a game changer for her. I think some of the hate against some of these early LD is extremely unjustified. And honestly, I really enjoy LD as a thing so far.
Well, we got you, I think, for another week with Desh.
Oh yeah. Oh man. If I have to skip, I would really like to be on for the Machina episode. Yeah, Mino's gonna give me a bunch of shit about that, but I keep getting mixed messages that he is not a villain. So I'm going to go
Play
with
the
those
game.
people because they are louder.
He's a hero.
You should
He's a
stream the
hero.
game.
Nope,
Yeah.
he's a hero. All right. Well, hey, this has been the post show. Go to bed, everybody. We'll check you later, and we'll see what kind of diversity we can bring to our cast next week. Maybe we'll have a talking dog or a puppet or something, just a Muppet, something out of the blue. So let us know. Give us some ideas who you want to see on the show. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Goodbye.